Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another one. And today we have a good show in store. We're going to go over some of my old Pokemon investments and see how they've performed. And showing you why you almost can't lose in Pokemon. At least for right now. We're going to talk about it. This song's David Gilmour. The song's called Raise My Rent. Anyway, welcome back to the show. And we're going to go over some of my Pokemon investments. Sorry, we gotta jam this for like one more minute. Let's go! We're back. One second. All right, we're back. Anyway. So today we're going to go over the numbers of when I bought this a year ago, and we're just going to see how this deal worked out and what it kind of pays off to go through and just buy people's entire collections. So in this deal we bought, we're going to go over here, excuse my handwriting. So we paid $2,700 in total. We bought the Hall of Phantom's blister, which then was about $2,000. Maybe $1,500 in that range. $1,500 to $2,000. We bought 4 Sea and Sky boxes in that, which was for about a total of $600, about $150 a piece. Like, I really didn't even want these, but they just came in the deal. And we bought 4 Fusion Strike 3-packs, the blisters. So 4 of them was roughly $200. The prices of these have went insane since we bought them. And the 151 Fusion display, the display itself, most people wanted $600 even back then. I just put $400. for a quick sale price. And then we bought 30 loose packs of Fusion Strike. This is one of my better Pokemon deals I actually got that I couldn't even believe I really got. But so we paid $2,700 in total. And like I said, this deal was already a good deal to begin with. So I don't want this to skew the numbers. Because I did get an incredible deal. Like, this was already way under market. Like, I had paid, $2,000 for the blister. I paid, like I said, just the Sea and Sky boxes were roughly $600. And so, like, roughly right there was, like, your money back, essentially. And then, like, throw in some blister packs. And then your Fusion Strike display was free. Your 30 loose packs was free. And, yeah, it was just a really good deal. But so we didn't sell any of it, like always. We just kind of kept everything. And we're going to go over a 1 year from then to now, showing that even Fusion, modern and vintage, like, still just kind of pump. So the Holland Phantoms blister now is like 4,000 at least. It's really closer to 5, but it's just getting really hard to find Holland Phantoms packs, period. That's why I've been saying to be specific about the packs you buy, though, in these deals if you're going with vintage, like Holland Phantoms, First Edition Neo, like that type of stuff. If you can find any deal on it, is worth getting if you can find any reasonable price. But so anyway, then we have the Sea and Sky boxes, which have just completely exploded. Those were like really, really. I thought they were expensive buying them then. I was just gonna quick sell them. But anyway, so those actually hit $300 a piece. So they're actually $1,200. So in 1 year, those have essentially doubled since we bought them. The Fusion Strike 3-pack blisters, I'm not even sure to gauge the price on these because the prices have really swung up on these. I thought these were $75 a piece, but originally they were $200. But most of this, I'm seeing people ask like $121 for 3 packs of Fusion Strike. But we're just going to go with $100. So we got 4 of those. So like I said, then versus now, we're just going to throw 400 up there. And the Fusion Strike display, they're roughly going for about 600 on eBay, which is crazy. But, and then 30 loose packs they weren't loose packs. They were like, in the display. And those are roughly $20 each now. So that 300 doubled to 6. So this is why you almost can't go wrong comparing, well, really just buying up collections and just fucking holding on to them. Like, as long as you're a little bit particular about it, you probably won't do bad. Because, like I said, we have a 1 year, and we have like just a double up of everything in about a year. The Holland's blister, which that was just skill, because I knew to buy Holland Phantoms. Most people don't, but Holland Phantoms then that blister was about $2,000. Now it's pretty hard to find one for under 4. And like I said, the Sea and Sky boxes, we doubled up on those. Like, those have doubled in price, and that's modern. So we're going from vintage and modern. I was just buying everything back then. And then we go to just Fusion Strike 3-pack blisters. What do I have in this one? 4 of those from 200 to 400. Which is just, yeah, it's pretty crazy with those. It really is. And then we have, like I said, the Fusion Strike actual display. Like 400 to 6. I don't really, like I said, I think it was like 600 then too. The price on those are really hard to gauge. But I would even just say 400 if it just, like, to be under what eBay is. Because I don't even know if those sell or not. But it's just a cool thing to have. And then we had, like I said, 30 loose packs for 300, and they're now 6, which is, yeah, you already know. It's pretty crazy. So for a total gain, I mean, you can do the math on that if you want, but for a total gain of, I said 2K, 2,600, 2,800, 2,900, $3,000. So, like, it was roughly like a $3,000 gain on that whole deal over the past year of just how much the stuff went up in that since I had bought it, which is pretty insane when you think about it. But it goes to show you almost can't lose, to where Pokemon's almost like holding gold in a way, where the price just goes up. And Pokemon's a little bit more unique than gold and silver, where the price just does seem to genuinely just go up over time, almost no matter what you buy. But I still say to try to be particular. Like me back then, I was hunting for Hall and Phantoms packs, and I was hunting for like anything vintage, but not just anything vintage, but like first edition Neo packs. Like I was trying to find stuff like that because I knew how rare they were and how hard they are to come by. Well, how much harder they would be to come by. And now we're actually seeing that in Hall and Phantoms, where like it is really hard to find packs. I mean, they're getting up there. That even loose packs are like $2,000, and then just like a heavy pack's over $4,000, and the booster box is $140,000 to where it used to be $40,000. So it really is kind of like if your stuff sells, great. If it doesn't, holding on to it for a couple years, it seems to usually just kind of have a steady uprising of if you can leave the money sit around into Pokemon, it will probably do good over time. And that's just kind of an example of going through things that I had bought and just buying up people's collections. And then, like, what I would do is I would just try to, like, sell people's collections for a little bit. Like, I would just sell, like, whatever sold out of it, I would just sell and then just try to keep the rest in profit, really. But most of the time, I just didn't sell anything, and then the price just goes up. So, you know, there's not really like a method to the madness. It's just really trying to pick stuff. Like if I'm picking vintage, I'm picking something like Hall and Phantoms or first edition Neo. Like I don't want to get like base set unlimited. You know what I mean? Or like I'm picking Skyridge or Aquapolis or you know Expedition, like something where the pack is actually like really worth being opened, where the chase cards are like $100,000 plus cards, and if they're not, to really not buy that vintage. Like there's really a such thing as like good vintage and just shit vintage. And like here's a perfect example. Like if you're buying vintage, like Hall and Phantoms is good vintage. Diamond and Pearl, Mysterious Treasures are shit vintage. Like that's just the difference. Like this, $2,000 to $4,000 plus a pack. These $250. Like not all vintage is good vintage, and I want to explain that to any Pokemon investors that not all vintage is good vintage, and you do have to be a little bit particular when you're buying or investing in this stuff. That you really just go for the good shit, man, not like quantity of bad shit. So, like that's why I say something like Team Up is a really good set to invest in, because it is really going for that extreme of like having the best cards of that era, you know, and going for what has the best chase cards is always going to probably do the best long term. And it's a pretty simple formula that a lot of people don't understand, and it's like also go for the exclusivity, which is like PCETBs. They always seem to do the best, no matter what. But also vintage packs, and it goes to show vintage, modern, you name it, in between, it's went up regardless. And I just kind of wanted this video to be a lesson of that, to show people that just being patient on your Pokemon usually does pay off, and you just kind of got to stick with it though and be patient. And a lot of people just are not patient. They see a slight dip in anything and it's over. You know, like a lot of people think like silver's over because there's like a $5 dip, and it's like, dude, it's just like the beginning. You know, just a lot of people are like that. They see Bitcoin drop, they think it's literally the end of that. And granted, I'm not a big Bitcoin bull, but